Hey everybody, this is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Friday, October 4th, 2019. We are now in the final hour of the trading day, and we are also in the final hour of the trading week. This has been a wild week. As many of you know, I prefer to make my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day as close as I can to the close of the market. During the regular part of the day, you have algorithms, you have a lot of day traders moving stuff around. At the end of the day, the big boys come in, the large financial institutions and the market makers. I believe they are the most well informed. They have the best technology. They start taking control of the prices away from the day traders and the algorithms, and in my opinion, move it to the most valid price of the day. And therefore, those prices are the prices that I want to make my final buying and selling decisions from, and that's why I'm primarily an end of the day trader. So thank you so much for coming by today. I always appreciate you guys coming, spending your time, investing your time. I hope you are learning something and it's having a positive effect on your trading results or your investing results. So thank you so much for coming, and let me make sure. Oh, okay, good. Looks like we have a connection. Hey, Steve Burns, how you doing? Steve says, hey, Greg, nice to see the bulls are back today. Yes, it is nice. It's been kind of a crazy wild week. So yes, it's finally nice to get some green and get some points on the board. Thanks for coming by, Steve. Always a pleasure to have you here. Always an honor. You do so many great things for people with your channel, with your website, with your Twitter channel, all the great, education you do and mentoring, and really appreciate you, Steve. And thank you so much. And thanks for putting me on your list today on Twitter. Hey, Jesse, what's going on? Good to see you. Jesse and I had a good call last night. Hope it was helpful, bud. I think you did a really great job. Hey, Kurt, how you doing? Hey, Steve and Greg. That is Kurt. That's my other student who is also doing very, very well. Both Kurt and Jesse are military, and I'll tell you what, I think you learn a lot in the military about discipline and being precise, and it comes through with Kurt and Jesse. So I think that was a good investment, pre-investment in your trading career. Hey, JT, what's going on? Nice to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well, and hope your trading's going well. So listen, the plan for today, as usual, is we're going to go ahead and we're going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. We're going to get that out of the way. We're going to come back. We're going to take a look at all my current positions. We're going to talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, and more importantly, how I'm going to manage them going forward, either to the upside or to the downside. After that, we're going to come back. I like to do a little segment on trader psychology. It's the most important skill you guys can learn in trading. Everybody wants to focus on the technicals, and I get that, and you have to do that at the beginning. But in the long run, you being able to manage your emotions in the face of adversity, it's super important. It's of paramount importance. And so that's why I talk about this every day. You need to work on it every day. Just like in life, it's important to manage your emotions. Just like in sports, it's important to manage your emotions. But I don't think it could be more important in any field than in trading, because you can trade great for months on end. All of a sudden something happens. Either something goes up great, then you feel bulletproof and you want to start trading larger because you don't have any more fear. Or if the market goes down, you get hit real big, you get punched in the face by the market, and then you want to lash out. You want to lash out, trade too large or not trade at all. But you have to manage all that, and that's why, in my opinion, you guys, having conservative position sizes will keep you in that value zone. Right? Not going to get too high, not going to get too low. And it's very important because we want to look at trading as a long-term endeavor, not just, hey, I'm going to make a ton of money in the next 3 weeks and get out, or I'm just going to continue to make money by trading crazy. It's not going to work. Take the long view. Where are you going to be? What's your return going to be after a year, or 5 years, or 10 years? And if you use that mindset, I think it will help you control your emotions, because you'll go, okay, this is just one trade. One of the next 1,000 trades doesn't really mean anything up or down. If I have a bad week, doesn't really mean anything in the big picture. So anyway, I'm going to do a little bit on trader psychology. I know you guys probably get tired of me talking about it, but listen, I'm here to help you become better traders, and it's the biggest component of trading. So I'm going to do it. Then after that, we're going to go through my watch list. We're going to go through each stock one by one. We're going to take a look at the support and the resistance levels. We're going to look at MACD. We're going to look at RSI. We're going to look at moving averages. We're going to look at levels. And in my opinion, if you want a stock to go up, you want to be in the company of other buyers, right? It's really not my opinion. That's how it is. And I look at indicators as groups of potential buyers. I look at potential buyers at the with maybe a MACD crossover. I look at potential buyers of potential RSI readings. I look at MACD, RSI, moving averages, sorry, they're blank for a second, as all groups of buyers. And so if you can get a potential setup where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 indicators lining up at the same time, the way I look at that is there's multiple groups of buyers coming in. And if you want something to go up, you want to be in the group of buyers. And if you want something to go up and you need to be in a group of buyers, having more buyers is even better. Right? I mean, obviously, if you take it to the extreme on the other side, you don't want to be buying something when many, many groups of buyers are selling, right? So that's how I look at technical analysis. I look for confluence or combination of indicators lining up, and then also entering as close as I can to where my stop is going to be, or my line in the sand. That way, if I'm wrong, I'm theoretically wrong the smallest, and if I'm right, I have good upside potential. So that's basically my philosophy on trading. So and then if we find something today that looks good, I'm going to go through the chart, mark a few candidates. At the end of the day, we're going to revisit it, narrow those down, keeping in mind, if we find something good, but I already have something in that industry, I may pass on it. But at the end of the day, maybe I'll take a position, maybe probably 2 at the max, if even. And if there's nothing there, I won't take anything, which is also an important lesson in trading. If there's nothing there, nothing to do, just don't do anything, sit on your hands, right? And then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to clarify. If you'd like me to take a look at any particular stock symbols, I'm happy to give you my humble opinion. And if you see something you really think is good, as far as today, put it in the chat. Sometimes I get busy with the chart and I can't look at the chat all the time, but if you really feel like there's something that might be valuable for us to look at today, let me know, and if I see it, we'll highlight it before the close of the market. And so anyway, that is the plan for today. By the way, the market's up today. Dow Jones is up 287 points. It's up just over 1%. NASDAQ is up 91. It's 1.16%. S&P is up 32, 1.12. So we're having a nice day, and very grateful for that. Anyway, if you don't mind, hold on about 40 seconds, and I will be back after the disclaimer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right. Thanks for holding through that with me. And Steve says, not being controlled by an emotion helps to see things at a higher level. Yeah, I mean, so true. By Ray Dalio, nonetheless. So, I know I talk about this every day, guys, but the reason I do it, the reason I burn the calories on it is because I want you to internalize it. I want you to know that you're going to get frustrated in trading. You're going to go through periods of drawdowns. You're going to go through weeks, maybe months, where you have losses consistently. Doesn't sound fun, right? but it's part of trading. That's the profession, that we're in, and how you control yourself during those losses is going to have a huge impact on how you're going to act in the future. So, in my opinion, the best way to fix all this, the duct tape that fixes everything in this profession, is to position size conservatively. Take your trades when you're supposed to, get out when you're supposed to. Don't have any one trade have a huge effect either to the upside or the downside, and that should keep you stable. And that, to me, that's the most important thing, is keeping stable, keeping positive in trading. So thanks, Steve. I appreciate that, bud. Man, I'm so pumped today to go through the charts because I don't have to go through DDM and SSO. It's the little things in life, right? And I can just use the one charting platform. I can't tell you how happy I am to have to do that on my end. It was such a pain with the double charts and all this stuff. So, all right, Amazon. I did buy Amazon back here on the 2nd of October. I bought it for a couple reasons. First reason was it went below the third ATR, closed back above. That's always good because 90% of prices tend to bounce at or near the third ATR channel. So going under intraday and closing back above is a good sign. Also, a couple days ago, we had made a new low. On the day that we bought, we went under that low. If we would have closed under there, it would have been a breakout to downwards to a new range. But we went down, closed back above this low. So we went down, closed back above this low, making this a false breakout to the downside, in addition to under the third ATR and back over. Next day wasn't looking so hot, right? But good thing good thing that I make my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day. Otherwise, I could have got scared out down here, right? But it did close above, created a nice V1, also rejected the third ATR channel. So I didn't buy it here. I bought it here. Based upon what I just told you, but has moved up today. I did hit one profit target up here, so that's good. Took about 12% of my position off the table, locked that in. The market can't take it away from me. And, that helps me keep in the trade when I can take a little off each day if it goes up a certain amount. And, no matter what happens now, if we go screaming down on Monday, I did lock in at least some profit up here. I used to say it will pay for your commissions, pay for a lot of commissions, which is true. But in this day and age, with all the brokerage wars, I guess that's not the case anymore. But it definitely will pay for a nice dinner, at least, right? So anyway, moving forward, my initial profit target here is right up here at 1780, which is right about the 50 RSI that dovetails with the 200. So if we make it up to here, reject that 200, I will go ahead and lock in profits. Of course, if it does get up there, I will continue to phase out. If it closes above the 200 day, then I will move my stop to a close below the 200 day. My ultimate profit target on here is basically the downward sloping 50-day moving average. So anyway, glad to have a profit target on this today, and that it's moving up, and so far pretty good entry. So we've made about $20 on the entry so far. Goldman Sachs, another nice trade that we initiated yesterday. I did buy this yesterday because we went under the 200, closed back over the 200. We got into the fairly low 30 RSI as well. But the reason I like this here is because we washed out the 200. We found out no one else was interested in selling down here. More people were buying down here. The market does not like this area. So for me to take the trade, I have same day data that tells me, okay, people really weren't interested in selling down here. There were really no more sellers. That's why it's bounced. So that's good information to have. What I also liked about this trade is that it closed barely above the 200 day. So, today, if it had gone down, which it did intraday, you can see, but if it had closed today, even a penny below the 200, I would have gotten out, giving myself a good risk to reward, right? I don't know this trade's going up. All I know is I need to position myself around some kind of support, which we had with the 200. And if I'm wrong very small with the close under 200. If I'm right, I have some nice upward movement. So today has had a nice day up today. It did form a V2 today. For those of you keeping score, here is day 1, here is day 2, here is day 3. Day 2 washes out day 1. It does look like day 3 is going to close above day 1 and close back up into the third ATR channel. So that's all positive. So if I had not bought this yesterday, I definitely probably would think about buying this again today. But anyway, we got a little better entry, and the reason why is that it rejected the 200 and gave me a really good risk to reward ratio. So my initial profit target up here is 207, which is basically a confluence of the 50-day moving average and the 50 RSI. So if we continue to move up here, I'm going to continue to phase out of this trade. If we get up and we hit the 50 and reject it, I would certainly get out there. If it closes above the 50, I will keep it. Actually, my ultimate profit target is here, right here at the top of this consolidation. So I think it'd be difficult to get through here. Who knows? But that's my plan, right? Initial profit target is the 50 RSI, 50-day moving average confluence. This particular consolidation here is my secondary profit target. Now, if we continue to move up, we don't quite hit the 50 and I get some kind of close below the previous day low, that would also be a red flag, and that would also be a possibility for me to take my chips off, take the entire trade off and lock in profits. But anyway, so far so good. Did hit one profit target today. We're kind of closing in on that second profit target, but it's still about 80 cents away. So who knows? We'll see what happens at the end of the day, whether or not we make another surge or, if we sell off a little bit. But again, hit that profit target. Can't take it away from me. Lock that baby in. SPY. All right, so this is the all-famous SPY, and for everyone who watches every day, I'm sure you get tired of me talking about this. But, in case we have some new viewers, I want them to understand what the approach is. But I do buy the S&P 500 each day at the end of the day, every day, and I sell it the first thing the next morning. It is not based upon any technical levels or anything like this. This is based upon a long-term back test from Liz Ann Saunders at Bespoke Invest. I believe she's the Chief Investment Officer for Charles Schwab. But here you have two options. Option number one is you could buy the SPY at the open each day. Remember, this is each day. Buy the SPY at the open each day, sell it at the close each day. Buy at the open, sell at the close. Buy at the open, sell at the close. If you would have done this every day since 1993, you'd have actually returned a negative 13.9%. But if you did the opposite, which is what I do, I buy the SPY each day at the close instead of the open. So I buy it at the close, sell it the next morning at the open. So buy at the close, sell at the open, buy at the close, sell at the open. If you'd have done this every day since 1993, you've actually returned 634.2% just by flipping it around. Buy in the open, sell at the close, negative 13.9. Buy at the close, sell at the open, plus 634.2. So this is good data, past performance, no guarantee of future results. That's true, and that goes for any trading approach, of course, but I would rather base and put capital at work based upon something that back tests well. So what this really means, everybody, is that all the gains since 1993 have come in the after hours. They have not come during the day. They've come in the after hours, people bidding it in the after hours, people selling it into the open. But I really love this chart. It's a perfect example of what a trading approach or a trading system looks like over the long term if you have an edge. And that's why I always suggest to everybody that you take the long-term approach in trading. But, since 1993, the blue line is the buy in the afternoon, sell in the morning. It has done very, very well. There's been some bumps and bruises along the road, but that's to be expected. Any trading approach that has a good long-term edge is going to have these normal ups and downs. And so in order to stay in this, in order to play it for the long run, you have to use the long-term approach. You can see the buy in the open, sell at the close did not do so well. And, for you day traders out there, this should remind you that most of the movement does not come during the day. It just doesn't. It comes in the overnight sessions. There's actually an edge in holding overnight. So, all right, that being said, I did buy the SPY yesterday at 290.37. And I sold it right at the open today at 291.21. So Happy to have a gain on this. Obviously, if I would not have sold it and held it, I would have done better. But listen, that's not the approach. If you guys remember back here on the 30th, we bought here, we sold right at the top, and then boom. So we were much better getting out at the open than holding through the day, through the whole day. So some days you're going to beat the market with this, some days you're not. But you know, based upon that long-term test, it does work well, and it has worked well for me. I've been using it since February 26th of this year, and it's been quite profitable. I will buy this again today at the close. All right, Twitter. So I did buy Twitter yesterday, the 3rd of October. I bought it because for several reasons. First reason, intraday, we went below the third ATR channel, closed back above. Second reason, we went below the previous day's low, closed back above the previous day's low's close. That's a nice V1. The bar was a small bar. I would prefer to enter V1s, V2s up against a small bar, not a large bar, not larger than 1 ATR. And then the third reason is that we washed out the 100-day and closed above it. So underneath the third, back over. Underneath the 100, back over. Washed out the previous day's low, closed above the previous day's low, gives us a nice V1. You can see today I did hit a profit target literally at the top within a penny or two at 40.57. Right now it's at 40.35. So anyway, going forward, right now I'm identifying 41.92 as my initial profit target, which is the 50 RSI. So if it gets up here to the 50 RSI and rejects it, that will be my clue to take profits or take the position off. In addition, if it does get up there, of course, I will be phasing out anyway. If it closes above the 50 or the 50-day moving average, I will hold it. My ultimate profit target on this trade is the thick of this consolidation right here, right about here. So if it just keeps going up, going up, going up, by the time it gets here, I will run out of shares, but I will be very happy if that happens. Now, conversely, if it continues to move up and extends a little bit more away from my entry, if I get a close below the previous day low, that will also be that would be a red flag and probably a reason for me to just lock in profits. So anyway, happy with Twitter today. UNH. All right, so I did buy UNH back here on the 30th of September. Similar to a lot of the trades we've taken, had a V1. Here's day one. Day two washes out day one, closes above day one's close. That is a good trigger. In addition to that, we went under the third ATR channel, back over the third ATR channel, and the previous day closed under 29 RSI, and the day that I bought it, it closed above. It closed under 30 RSI, and the day that I bought it, it closed above 30. So under the third ATR channel, over the third ATR channel. Nice V1, day one, day two washes out day one, closes above day one. And then it also went from under 30 back over the 30. Since, after I bought it, it just kind of moved sideways. I did hit one profit target there today, or I did hit one profit target a couple days ago. Did hit one profit target today at 217.56, so took some shares off the table. And right now it looks like we're closing in on another profit target. So hopefully we can get that. That'd be good. My initial profit target here is the 50 RSI. It should act as some kind of technical resistance above here. We'll see. My ultimate profit target basically is the downward sloping 50-day moving average. So like with the other trades, if we move up here, get rejected by the 50, I would lock in my profits. And scaling out at the same time. If we closed above 50, my secondary profit target would be the 50-day moving average. And if I got up here, I would run out of shares. If it moves up, continues to extend away, and then we have a close below the previous day's low, that will be another red flag, and that will be a reason for me to take the trade off and lock in what I have. So anyway, be great if we get at that second profit target up there today. So we'll see what happens. All right. So let me check. Oh, and by the way, I mentioned to everyone yesterday that I did sell a put on Disney. So If Disney stays above 123 by next Friday, I'll be able to keep all the commission. Yesterday, I owned Disney and I forgot that I had the put. So I decided to take the Disney position off, the stock position off, because I didn't want to have too much correlation. And it's up nicely today. So it looks like that was a bad move, but it wasn't a bad move. I made a mistake. I had too high of correlation. So it was the proper thing to do. I don't want to sell puts on Disney and also have long directional trades on Disney. So it did go up. As I mentioned yesterday, it was a good trade. I did like the trade. It bounced off the 30 RSI. But you know, when you make a mistake, if you find yourself you have too much correlation, there's nothing wrong with just going ahead and taking it off. JT says, nice move on STNG. Oh, darn it. Sorry, JT, I can't show that on this particular chart. Sorry, man. Darn. Hey, Anthony, how you doing? Good to see you. And yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for that email. I appreciate it. And so we'll get together Monday. We'll get together Monday at 1 p.m. your time. Hey, Marco, what's going on? Good to see you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming. Toby. Hey, everybody. Hey, Toby. How you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for coming back. Frank, GS got through my resistance, and believe me, that's not easy. Are you long the stock, Frank? So, you know, one thing, it did get above the 30 ATR channel. Most of the day it was hanging out right underneath as some kind of resistance, but it did pop its way back up. So that is actually very positive. Anyway, sorry, JT. I don't have the Schwab charts, and there's Trade Navigator still having that issue with some particular stocks. And it looks like all I can see from yesterday, all I can see right now is yesterday's, the third's data. I can't see today's data. Let me look at it over here, but I won't be able to share it, unfortunately. Whoa, up 8%, up 8.6%. Wow, that's fantastic. Do you have it? Do you have it, JT? I hope you do. Oh, shoot. Okay, but somebody has it. Okay, yep, congrats to them for sure. For sure. So I have two of these that I'm going to show you today. Today's we get an added bonus of two, one from Trading Proverbs and one from Steve Burns. I looked at these both, and they both tie into each other, so I wanted to highlight both of them. But you know, this is the time of the day where I like to post some good words of wisdom about, you know, trading psychology. I go through Twitter. There's a lot of great channels out there that post a lot of information on trading psychology, and they really post some great stuff. So I go through, sift through. If I see something that I think is applicable to what we're doing here in trading, I'll cut it out and then highlight it here on this channel. So this is from Trading Proverbs. I really think this is a great Twitter channel. Concentrating on obviously trading Proverbs, but it's at Trading Proverbs on Twitter. But do yourself a favor, go there, subscribe, take a look at their posts. I think they're very helpful. But Trading Proverbs here says greed, fear, ignorance, and hope. But this is from Jesse Livermore, one of the most famous traders of all times. Jesse says, all through time, people have basically acted and reacted the same way in the market as a result of greed, fear, ignorance, and hope. That is why the numerical formations and patterns reoccur on a constant basis. Right? One more time. All through times, people have basically acted and reacted the same way in the market as a result of greed, fear, ignorance, and hope. This is why the numerical formations and patterns reoccur on a constant basis, by Jesse Livermore. So, you know, when we're talking about setups, we're looking for setups that have an edge. And why do they have an edge? Because over time, the greed, fear, ignorance, and hope of everybody in what they've done in the markets portrays itself on your chart. That's what you're seeing. I mean, when you look at a chart, you're actually looking at humans' emotions. You're graphing human emotions. And so there's certain patterns that reoccur that factor in people reacting out of greed, fear, ignorance, and hope. And, human nature doesn't change much. So essentially, these chart patterns are not going to change much. So that's what they're saying here. So thank you, Trading Proverbs. I appreciate that. And I'm just going to dovetail this into Steve. Of course, Steve, a friend of the channel, such a great coach and author and trader, and can't say enough good things about Steve. But, if you guys have not subscribed to Steve on Twitter, Steve Burns at @SJosephBurns. But, keep in mind what I just said, right, about the reoccurring patterns. So Steve says, in its purest form, this game, trading, is all about trading repetitive, high probability patterns with an unwavering conviction. If you can do that, cut losses and let winners ride, you will make money. It's simple math. From @Asina Wealth. So what I just said over here, right, about the patterns repeating themselves based upon human emotions and giving us certain patterns that do allow us to have an edge in the long run. So this is what Steve's talking about. He's talking about that these repetitive patterns happen, and when you see them, it's just repetitively taking those patterns, right? Unwaveringly taking those patterns with the proper position size, sitting on your hands, waiting for those patterns to occur, because if they don't occur, then there's no edge, right? So in its purest form, this game is about trading repetitive, high probability patterns with an unwavering conviction. If you can do that, cut losses and let winners ride, you will make money. It's simple math. So anyway, I thought those two work together well. Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you always have such great posts. And also thank you, Trading Proverbs. You guys also have great posts, and hope everybody goes there and subscribes to them on Twitter. All right, so hope that was helpful. Frank says, yes, as a small position, but I'm referring to personal resistance as discipline we must always use. Ah, very good. That is very true. All right, so let's see where we're at. Whoa. We are really cranking. So let's real quick. So we hit one profit on target on Amazon. Goldman Sachs, we're closing in on that second profit target. SPY, of course, we're going to buy. Twitter, getting back up there. UNH, ooh, getting very close to that second profit target. Very, very close. So, all right, let's go through the charts now, guys, and see if there's anything for today. Okay. Apple. Wow. Look at Apple, everybody. I talked about this V1 here. Here's day one, here's day two, washes out. In this particular case, it would have worked fantastic. But of course, you guys know on these return to values, I like to see it come in, have some kind of stability before we have a V1, V2. But just because you see this happen, everybody, doesn't mean it's going to happen every time. It did happen today. Interesting to see whether or not Apple's going to close back above here. This was the previous high. We broke out. We broke out intraday, closed back below, giving us a false breakout. Got back into the value zone, and we'll see whether or not today we can close above there again. But anyway, if you guys have Apple, congratulations. But nothing there today. Adobe. Steve had a great trade on Adobe. He bought yesterday with this close back above the 200. Similar to what we did on Goldman Sachs, where it just offered a good risk to reward. If he's wrong potentially small with this, even with the small close underneath the 200. If he was right, he has good upside potential. And that's exactly what he did. So fantastic trade on that. I don't think I'm going to take this here today. It did get close to the 50 and looks like it rejected a little bit. So anyway, nothing for me on Adobe today. Advanced Micro did have that nice V1 yesterday. We had a lot of V1s yesterday. Has continued up a little bit, not that much. So back in the value zone, which is good. but nothing for me to hear on on AMD. One thing I want to point out, guys, is whenever we make lower lows, you guys hear me talk about lower lows. See how we made a lower low here? The people that were able to buy here or buy here, just like Steve. Let's put this back on Adobe. If Adobe continues to move up, because Steve bought here from this lower low, he's going to have his finger on the trigger to sell if it starts acting a little wanky, right? If it starts slowing or going back down. A lot of people that were lucky enough to buy down here or buy here, they're going to be watching this first rally. And if it fails, they're going to get out. And that will cause some selling pressure. So, when you buy a lower low, that's why when you buy at the 30, you target the 50. You're not really thinking, I'm going to target the 50 and target the 70. You're targeting off that 50 because very likely there's going to be sellers come in there and you want to get out before it heads back down. So I'm not going to be chasing a lot of these today because a lot of these are coming from lower lows and we're getting up kind of in close to those 50s. So right now, if I would have bought down here, I would definitely be targeting the 50 RSI. And if it got out, I would be getting out. So I just don't think Advanced Micro Devices has a good risk to reward. What I like to see now, and Jesse, if you're listening, I'd like to see the prices from this lower low come into the value zone, sell off a little bit, and then head back up and have a higher low V1 back in the value zone. So nothing there. Of course, Amazon we have, and same thing, I bought here. I'm going to be looking for a rejection of the 50. I will, and thousands of other traders will be as well. So, would I buy this again today? Probably not. I'm going to hold it because I have it and I have profit in it. But would I initiate a new position today? No, because now we're at 41 RSI. We only have like 9 points to the upside. So keep on going up, Amazon. Boeing. Right now we are above 50 RSI. So that is good. However, if this closed under 50 today, I bet you a lot of people that bought down here would be selling, and that would add selling pressure. So nothing on Boeing. What I'm really looking for on a lot of charts now is, yes, we had a bounce of the 200 or we had these washouts. Get into the value zone. Expect them to have some selling pressure once we get around 50 or near 50. Come back down, then be looking for that V1 or V2. And I think a lot of those trades are going to happen at the same time. But I don't want to chase. I certainly don't want to chase here. Caterpillar, like a lot of trades, had that beautiful washout yesterday. It looks like it did trigger a V1, close back up into the over the third ATR channel. That's good. It's up a little bit today. Would I buy it here today? Probably not.
Order filled.
Oh, snap. We just hit our second profit target on Goldman Sachs, everybody. Nice. Okay, sorry, I have to make an adjustment because I trade a couple accounts and I have to make a manual adjustment based on that in the other account. So sorry for the delay again.
Order filled.
All right, let me just check real quick. Okay, we just hit that second profit target there. UNH, oh, it's getting so close. So close. All right, we'll see if that hits. Okay, sorry, where was I? Okay, we were talking about Caterpillar, right? Yeah, so I'm not going to take Caterpillar here. The Dow, we had that huge washout, close back over. It's a good example, and a V1, right? So this is fantastic. Would I want to buy this now? No, because the people that bought here, they're going to be keying off the 50. It's almost 50. It's basically 48, 47.99. So people that bought down here, they're going to be looking to unload here if we reject the 50, and that is likely to cause the market to come back down. So I'm definitely not going to be buying anything that has gone from low up to almost a 50 RSI today. Walt Disney, the one that I had to get rid of yesterday. But it's okay. Still happy. I still have the puts, right? So the puts definitely went my way today too. Would I be buying this here now? No. I mean, I think the correct place to buy it is back where I initially bought it. But if I did still have this trade, I would be targeting the 50 RSI somewhere in here. And if we reject it, I would be getting out and locking in profits. And so will a lot of other people. Etsy did have this V2. It was a lower low V2. Here's the lower low. So it is above 50. That it was much higher. You can see a lot of people sold into that at this previous resistance. Is still holding above the 50 RSI. If I would have bought this yesterday, I would consider selling this, even though it's still above the 50, but this big rejection. So anyway, I'm no interest on Etsy. I would be interested on buying Etsy if, let me take a look here. Ooh, now I can't remember. It might be, I think it's the 1050. Yeah, the 1050 SMA cross on Etsy. Currently, you can see we have the 10 under the 50. This has back tested well, but this would set up for a nice potential trade in the future if the 10 can close back above the 50. But it looks like it just closed today. But if it does close back over, I like the area that it's coming from. It's not too overbought, anything like that. So nothing there today, but something in the future that looks fairly good. How are we doing on time? All right. Ford Motor Company, not doing much today. Facebook, I was considering buying this yesterday, but I decided that, here was the 50 RSI, here was my entry. I felt like the risk to reward, at least for the way I trade, didn't make sense, but it's up nicely today. So congratulations to you that have Facebook. Does look like it's going to close above the 10-day moving average, which is great because we haven't done that for a long time since back here. So anytime you've been under a long-term moving or under a moving average for a long time, you can finally break back above it. It's always a good sign. Five Below had this sweet V1 yesterday. I didn't take this, but it did reject the 1 ATR channel. I'm sorry, did reject the 200-day moving average, did reject the 100, did wash out the previous day by a long ways, close back over. Would have been a good risk to reward ratio, but I didn't take it. It is close. It looks like right now it's above 50 RSI. So if somebody would have bought down here and it closed below 50, likely they would got out. But they're probably going to hold on to this trade if it closes above 50. So we'll see what happens, but nothing there. Gold. We're close to having a 520 EMA cross today. And if we did have the cross, I would be buying gold. So I've got to mark gold right now. The 5 EMA is 141.60. The 20 is 141.63. So if we had a surge here at the end of the day and these numbers were even, it doesn't have to actually go over by a penny. It can be even. They qualify that, and that's a valid crossover the way ETF replay does this. So currently we are under, but if it does close over, I will be initiating a trade in gold. So we'll watch that gold or Google. People that bought down here, see we're at 50.07. They're going to be watching this very carefully. If it closed under, a lot of people will just go ahead and sell. If it closes over, they will keep it, right? Not everyone, but a lot of people. If it were me and I bought down here, I would be watching this like a hawk. And if it closed under 50, I would get out. Because remember, we play between the 30 and the 50 and the 70. If we go from the 30 and we reject the 50, it's likely it's going to go down. If we can close above the 50, then we have a possibility that it could go to the 70. So nothing there today. Goldman Sachs we just hit that second profit target. Woohoo! IBB. I wouldn't want to initiate right here. It's at a 40 RSI. So, if I'm wrong, I'm probably wrong down to 30. If I'm right, I'm up to the 50. Only gives me a 1-to-1. Intel did have this nice V1 yesterday, rejection of the 200 and the 50-day. I didn't buy it, but it is up today. It looks like currently it's above a 50. So that's a good sign. So, if a lot of these major stocks can close above 50, we won't have as much selling pressure. IWM, what I'm looking for on IWM is a 1050 SMA cross back over. It's one of the best back tested approach. It happened here, but I didn't buy this here because it was too high. It was up at the third ATR channel, so that's too high. But today it did cross under. So in the future, if we can cross back over at these relatively tame and undervalued prices, I will definitely be taking that. But because this 1050 is a little bit longer, it might take a few days. But when it triggers, I will definitely take it, but not today. J&J, strong move, strong close above the 200. Do I want to take this because it closed above the 200? No, because you have to look at the RSI, you have to look at the ATR channels. We're above the ATR channel, we're above the 60 RSI. So this it is a nice close above the 200. It looks like it's a V2, day 1, day 2, day 3. But again, the technical setup's there, but it's not there in the big context because it's overvalued as far as ATR and RSI. Coca-Cola, look at this. Look at this. Major down. Oh, no, we were wrong. Right back up. But nothing there. Lockheed Martin. Looks like it did get to the 50 RSI today. If I had bought down here and it closed at 49.83, I would definitely be getting out. So nothing there. MasterCard, strong day today. It's hanging right around the 50, which I'm not surprised. If I had bought down here and today we close under the 50, I would lock in my profits. Altria, big strong day today. You know, I was looking for a higher low V1. We're below the 1 ATR, we're below the value zone. We come back into the value zone, then we go back down. If yesterday's bar would have closed above, here's day 1, day 2, day 3, day 2, washed out day 1. If this bar had closed above day 1's bar, I would have bought this. And this is to Jesse because we were talking about this. But see how it didn't form the V1 or V2, unfortunately. So anyway, Altria looking pretty good here, but there's really no entry. We're to 46 RSI. Likely we'll run into resistance at the 50. How we doing? Okay, 13 minutes. Merck, down, up. Really strong. Looks like we might have a 520 crossover. I don't know how that back tests. It's too high for me to buy here above the 1 ATR channel. Microsoft, nothing there. I think we might have some potential crossovers happening here in the future, but nothing today. Netflix. Boy, I'm torn on Netflix, everybody, because we make this lower low. We did rally slightly into the value zone. We did sell off. Looks like we're making a V2 today back in the value zone. We also took out this fractal. Here is a high with 2 lower highs to the left, 2 lower highs to the right. That's a fractal in addition to a V2. The only problem, and MACD is positive, showing positive momentum. The only issue here is that we're at a 43.26 RSI. So, you know, I would have to put my stop here, halfway of the washout bar. And my potential profit would probably be somewhere up in here. So I think I'm just going to have to let this one go. I'm kind of torn on it because it is a higher low V2 back up into the value zone, but the RSI right here is giving me some issues from the 43 up to the 50. So I think I'm just going to pass on that one. We'll see what happens. Nike, nothing there. Philip Morris, another strong day. The media attention on the vaping gets worse, and the tobacco stocks go up. So it's kind of interesting, right? Looks like we are closing, could be closing above the 200-day moving average. Does that mean I'm going to buy it? No, because it's up here at the third ATR channel, 62 RSI, just too high. Who knows? It might consolidate here and just go roaring higher. But based upon how I buy, I can't do it. I considered buying PayPal yesterday when we had the close under, the close over the 250. That's a good back-tested approach. But I went with Twitter instead. But anyway, this one would have worked out well. If I would have bought it here, I would have used a stop below the 250 as my stop. My initial target would be the 200. If it closed above the 200, I'd hold it until it closed back below, or moved higher, or if it rejected the 200, like today, if it rejected the 200 and closed back below, I would have gotten out. So if any of you have PayPal, congratulations. Let me see how we doing here. All right. The Qs, big, strong. Nothing today on the Qs. Look how we, people that were lucky enough to have bought down here, see how it's stalling out at the 50 RSI? This is a good example, right? So if I would have bought it down here and it closes under the 50, I would be getting out. As far as moving forward with the Qs, I would wait for either two crossovers to happen. The 5 crossing over the 20 EMA, or the 10 EMA crossing over the 50 EMA. So nothing here today. I mean, I know it looks like it's going up. You want to get in, but if you look at this objectively, we're more likely to stall out here because we're at the 50 RSI in a lot of stocks. S&P, of course, we did have that overnight trade. We had a nice little small profit. We'll be buying this again today. Let's see. Bonds. Oh, wait, where am I? Bonds. Way to go, Frank. I know Frank's been long bonds. Fantastic trade, my friend. Good job. But nothing for us today. Tesla is actually down today. Nothing on Tesla. Twitter, we did hit one profit target. Rejection of the third ATR channel, rejection of the 100. Nice V1. That's why we bought it. So we did hit one profit target. UNH. Look how close UNH is, everybody. I can't remember, I was teaching this in my class, but if something gets within 3 cents of my profit target, I'm just going to go ahead and take it, right? I have these profit targets in case I'm not around. So what I'm going to do right here just goes to show you that when I get, a couple cents away from my profit target, if I lose that, I'm losing 2 cents worth of potential upside with a lot more to the potential downside, right? So it looks like it is having some issues there. So I'm going to go ahead and just manually sell this.
Order filled.
All right. And then UNH over here. But I hope that makes sense, right? I only have 2 more cents to the upside for more profit, and I have
order filled.
Everything on the downside to risk. So where did I get out of that? 219.49. All right. So I'm very happy. Just take a little bit of a haircut because it was basically right in the spirit of where I wanted to get out. So 2 profit targets today on UNH. Glad for that. Okay, over there and over there. Yes. All right. Oil. Nothing on oil. VIX, big down day, but I do want to point out, everybody, that the 10-30 EMA crossover on VIX is still in place. This is the pink line over the blue line. Whenever this happens on a closing basis, it means that we're in a more of a high volatility market. So even though we're big down day today, the crossover is still in place, meaning that we still could have a lot of volatility. Once that 10 crosses under the 30, then we're in a much lower volatility market, which is good. But being that we still have that crossover, it's a little concerning. Verizon had a nice V1 yesterday. Can't take this. No consolidation. Bar's too big. But even though it didn't fit my criteria, it still moved up higher. But would I buy something here? No, I wouldn't. Walmart, nice V1 yesterday. Again, I can't take it. No consolidation. This bar's too big, but still moving up. Energy up slightly. I thought about buying energy yesterday, but I decided to pass, so nothing there. Financials. Looks like it got close to the 50. Again, everybody, we had this big dip. I would not be surprised at all if we run into some resistance up here. You can see stock after stock, a lot of them are like stuck right at the 50. And, 50 RSI really does add resistance a lot of the time, not all the time. Real estate, V2, nothing there. Utilities. came into the value zone, did have a V1, didn't move sideways up against too big of a bar, but it still worked. And healthcare closed back above the 200, but it looks like we rejected the 50. You know, one thing I want to say is, even though these V1s worked out, if you took this trade 100 times, it probably would not work out more than 50% of the time. And that's why I wait for the sidewards movement, the small bars, the V1s, V2s, and then that way you take the trade 100 times, you're probably going to win somewhere close to 60, 65, 70% of the time. All right, so with that being said, I honestly do not see anything today that I want to buy except for possibly gold. And right now the 5 EMA is 141.57. The 20 EMA is 141.63. So it doesn't look like we're going to have that crossover. So you know, I think today is good exercise in, even though everything looks good, feels strong, not taking another trade, because there's really not a good trade there based upon how I trade and the risk rewards and the RSI levels. But we still have positions, right? I mean, we still have a lot of positions. I mean, we are going to take a trade on the SPY, right? We are going to take a trade on the SPY. But let's see. So Amazon. SRPT. Yeah, darn it. SRPT is yesterday. Let me look quickly over on the other chart, Wayne. So I can't show this on the podcast here, but I am looking at SRPT. Obviously very strong. RSI is a 51.75. For me personally, I can't take this. It's right up against the 1 ATR channel. It's a little bit high for me to take. And I know you can't see this chart. Oh no, you can. Duh. All right. So yeah, so I couldn't take it here, but it's now looks like it's going to close above the 1 ATR channel. And if I wanted to get into this trade, I need to see a dip back into the value zone and buy that first dip. It's just up here, it doesn't add a good risk to reward ratio. So it might just continue going up, and that's all there is to it. Nothing you can do about it. But if I was interested in SRPT, I would wait for a dip back into the value zone. So let me see. The only thing we were looking at was gold. Getting a little closer, but I think it's gonna take a bit. Boy, what a big day today, everybody. What a big day. My goodness. Good to see you, Wayne. I hope that helped on SRPT. But yeah, it looks good, looks strong, but I couldn't buy it here. I need to pull back. Hey, Bing He, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Thanks for your guidance. I sold off the remaining half of Sting with the profit. Oh, nice. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. Okay. So it doesn't look like gold's going to do the close. We have about a minute and a half. Come on, Amazon, get up to that second profit. I don't think it's happening. So we did hit 2 profit targets on Goldman Sachs. We did hit 1 on Twitter. We did hit 2 on United Healthcare. Wow, what a week. All right, final minute of the trading day. Interesting to see where Apple closes. Closing pretty strong. Where's Adobe closing? 47.71. All right, we're going strong into the close. Whew, that felt nice to take a little breather from speaking for a second. All right. 5 seconds.
Order partially filled.
All
Order
right.
cancelled.
All right. So I did buy the new SPY, overnight SPY at $294.35.
Order cancelled.
All right. So yeah, this is one of those days it would have been a good to hang on to it, but that's not the trading approach. But our trading approach did work, right? We did get the overnight and we did get a profit on it. And so the new entry is there. 294.35. So we didn't take any new positions today other than the SPY, and it will be interesting to see how a lot of these stocks react come Monday, whether this is something that continues to move forward or, if we're going to hit resistance at the 50. So either way, we still have positions. Amazon, Goldman Sachs has done well. SPY, the one profit target, and the UNH, and of course Disney. So if any of you have Disney, glad that it went out. I had to get out yesterday, but I still have the puts. So anyway, the puts were very profitable today as well as far as puts go.
Order cancelled.
All right. Wow. So looking at the numbers here, man, I was able to salvage a profit for the week, which is amazing. If you would have told me we would have had a profit for the week yesterday, I don't think I would have believed it. I would have believed you. But, the reason why, the reason why is that we went into the big down day that we had. Let's see. The big down day that we had, we were extremely light. It was like the lightest I had been in a long, long time. That was this day here. So, let's see, the first. Yeah, so the first I was fairly light. On this day, I was really light. I did add larger position, quite a bit larger positions with our moves yesterday, and then we had this nice day. So yeah, very happy to have a profitable week after this week. And I think it goes to show you being conservative, correct position sizes, not taking trades until they really confirm. So anyway, listen, I know I've been jabbering on here, and I'm going to get to everybody's comments and questions, but just want to put in my quick plug real quick. I hope that's okay, but I do offer private coaching and teaching and mentoring lessons in the evening time via Skype. I really like teaching. I've had really good success with my clients. I've had a lot of good feedback from them that they're learning a lot. The podcast I have here, I do my best, but I don't have a lot of interaction back and forth. And so I think there really is truly, honestly, a huge advantage to having the one-on-one lessons with me. And I have a course, it's it's a 2-hour session, 5 times. So 5 2-hour live Skype sessions with me one-on-one. And I think you're going to learn a lot. I think you're going to learn a lot, much more than you do on this podcast. So if you've been thinking about it, you're on the fence about it, reach out to me. It just starts with the free phone call or free Skype call just to get to know each other a little bit better. I want to know about you and your trading and your challenges and your goals and how you've been trading. And, based upon that information, I'll put together a customized lesson plan for you that I'll teach you during our 5 Skype calls, right? And the first part of the Skype call I teach. The second part of the Skype call, I turn it back on you, ask a lot of questions. We go through a lot of charts. I have you break it down for me. And, like Jesse and Kirk, Anthony, people have done it. They know that a lot of the time we spend, I turn it around and I have you teach it back to me, right? And a lot of new traders, they know that they hear they're supposed to have a plan, but generally, in my experience, their plan focuses on just their entries and the setups. But you have to have a full plan. Correlation, position size, entries, exits, profit targets, all that kind of stuff. And, that's what I aim to provide for you in the course. So if you're interested and want to have that free kind of introduction call with me, there's no obligation. I promise you that. I'm not like that. But you can reach out to me. My email is in the description of this video. You can reach out to me on Skype. And Secondly, if you like this channel and haven't subscribed, I appreciate it if you would. And at the very least, if you like today's content, if you could hit the thumbs up button, I would really, really appreciate it. It does help get the content out to more people, and Lord knows there's a lot of people out there that need help with trading, and I think if we could get them to this channel, they could start learning some good trading principles. So if you could hit the thumbs up button or share it on social media or tell your trading friends about it, I would really appreciate it. So okay, that's my plug. Thank you for hanging with me through that. So all right, let's go through here. All right, so we talked about STNG. Bing He said, thanks for your guidance. I sold off the remaining part of Sting. Let's see, is this one of those ones? Yeah, so I have to look at my other charts over here. STNG. So I know you guys can't see this chart. Are you kidding me? Sting was up 9% today. Nice going. Beautiful, beautiful, Bing He. Am I looking at the right chart? STNG up $2.82, up 9.51%. Thanks for your guidance. I sold off the remaining half of Sting with a profit. That's fantastic. Took half position in SEDG. SEDG. Okay, SEDG. Doesn't look like I can look at that one, Bing He. Let me look over here real quick. SEDG. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Do I not have that over here? SEDG. Am I being dyslexic? Oh, okay. Now I got it. Now I got it. And you took it... You took it yesterday, Bing He, or you took it today? Today's fine. I mean, this is a good example, everybody, of move up, move down into the value zone, move sideways, have a washout, go back up. I would not have taken this above the 1 ATR channel, but right here seems fine. Did have a 520 crossover. Does look like we closed above the 50 RSI. So that's great. Yeah. I don't know if you took it yesterday. It doesn't look like it closed. It doesn't look like it really confirmed, but you know, maybe you bought it a little bit earlier. But let me know. Let me know, Bing He. Oh, today. Okay, 85.10. All right. Well, you're in the money 40 cents already. So, you know, based upon our plan with your commissions, you know, you might want to use the second ATR for your half position, and then maybe the third for the second half of the position. And of course, more importantly, where's your stop going to be? Halfway of the washout bar. This is the washout bar, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 2 washes out day 1. I would use a close below the halfway of this washout bar. Frank says gold I like. Yeah, I was looking for gold too, but we didn't quite get the crossover. We missed it by a couple pennies. So if gold goes up on Monday, most likely we will get that signal, that 520 EMA signal. Hey Murat, what's going on, bud? Good to see you, my friend. Nice to. I'm really glad you came by and you made it. Murat's our friend from Norway. Murat says I carried a large overnight position on spot oil. In the end of the day, I hit my trailing stop after a very good run up. It was up 2.5% from my entry. Oh, congratulations. Yeah, I know you've been interested in oil lately, so looks like it gapped up. This isn't Brent crude. This is USO oil tracking ETF, but it did gap up, and maybe it looks like you got out near the opening, huh? Congratulations. Anthony says, it is definitely an advantage to get private lessons. If anyone wants to ask me anything, feel free. I am a student. I do not make anything. Thanks, Anthony. I appreciate it. Yeah, Anthony just finished up our we finished up our set of lessons last week, but we have another call on Monday. And I guess I do want to point out, everybody, that, you know, After the 5 lessons doesn't mean we're done, right? If you have questions, if you're not clear on something, even after the course, I'll just schedule another call with you, another Skype call. It's free. There's no extra money, right? But, it's very important to me that my students succeed because it's a reflection on me and I want to have a good track record, right? So yeah, I mean, we have the 5 2-hour sessions, but after they end, if you're not clear on something, something's not coming together, it's not like you can't contact me, and I'm happy to have another Skype call with you for free until we get it worked out. Jesse, Jesse said, okay, Jesse, current student here also, no kickbacks. Greg is an excellent teacher and explains so many important aspects of price action behavior. Sessions can be recorded to watch and study. Excellent ROI. Well, thanks, bud. I appreciate that. Yeah, you've been a great student, Jesse, and so is Kurt, and so is Anthony. And yeah, I mean, when we do the lessons on Skype, there's a record button. So when we're done with the lesson, it's not like you have to take tons of notes because you have the video there. You know what I mean? So you can just rewatch the video. And I suggest to my clients that we do the lessons about every other day. So I teach the lesson, you record the lesson, next day take a day off, but I would recommend that you just watch the lesson that you were just in, just as a refresher before we move on to the next stuff. But thank you very much, Jesse. Appreciate that. And Jesse and I are on for this coming Sunday. Wow, what a big day. Unbelievable. Unbelievable green for the week. Man, I'm really grateful for that. Whew. So, if anybody has any other questions, please let me know. Let me just get back to that. Let me check something real quick. I'm kind of interested in something. Okay. Ah, Zynga. Yeah, that is a nice move. That is a nice move. Did we get a crossover? Not quite yet. Wow. Murat, do you have Zynga? I can't remember. I know we talk about it. I think you do. Yeah, I think you do. So where did Apple close? Apple closed 619. Yeah, strong, strong. Interested to see what some of those, I can't remember now. Oh yeah, Etsy did close above the 50. Facebook 45, 5 below did close above the 50. Q's, yeah, that's the one I was interested in. So 50 RSI. So if for some reason I would have bought down here on the dip or for whatever reason, if I had, based upon this close at 50, if I had this position, I would still keep it. If I was in this position and the next day it closed under 50, I would get out. So we have to watch on Monday. If we have some downward pressure and we lose the 50 RSIs on a lot of these indexes and big stocks, I wouldn't be surprised for a couple days down. Murray says, yes, a lot. Fantastic. That's great, man. That's great. Up 2.75% today on a lot is a lot. So, all right. Well, glad it's the weekend. Change gears a little bit. I have 3 long and 1 short. You remember BWLPG trade. I sent it to you, the entry and the exit today. It moved up 9% and you shorted it. Oh, okay. I think that's the symbol. I think that's one of the symbols I can't pull up on my end. So you shorted it. All right. Well, you got 3 long, 1 short, so at least you have a little balance, right? How did everybody else do today? Did anybody else have any positions? Any new positions maybe that you entered yesterday or a few days ago? You know, you guys always see my trades, and we do talk about some people's trades, but anybody else have any positions that you guys been holding on to that I like to follow your guys' trades? All right. Well, listen, guys, thanks for coming today. I appreciate it. Appreciate you spending your time. Hope it's helping. I really do. If you have any questions, or if you have some questions that you think of later that you didn't ask today, feel free. You can email them to me or send them to me by Twitter. But Murat, thank you for coming, my friend. Congratulations on your great trades, especially on Zynga. Oh, JT bought Amazon yesterday and closed today. Nice. Congratulations. So we're both in on the Amazon trade. Way to go. Good seeing you, JT. Glad you're doing well, and I'm well with Amazon, and I hope everything else is going well. But Murat, thank you for coming by, and I hope those positions work out for you. Congratulations on Zynga. JT, good seeing you. Frank just bought some ULTA. Oh, let's check it out. Whoa. So that was today's bar, so down a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what though. Frank, was that buy today? I certainly like that you're buying. If it was today, I like that you're buying a little bit of a dip instead of right here, right at the top for long term. John, good seeing you, my friend. Thank you. And I hope you have a nice weekend as well. Murat, thank you. I'm glad the comments certainly helped. That's great. Thanks, JT. It's good seeing you, my friend. Thanks, Frank. Always good to see you, and nice job on your gold and your bond position. Okay, you bought it today. Good. Yeah, I'm glad you bought the dip instead of the strength, because it's certainly in an uptrend. Obviously, it's in an uptrend. But always better to buy a little bit of a dip than super strength. So hope that works out well. I'll be watching that. Jesse, thank you for the kind words. Appreciate it, my friend. Watch the video we did from last night. I think that was a good call, and I'll talk to you on Wednesday. Bing He, congratulations on that wonderful trade. Man, that was a surprise, up 8%. That's fantastic. Anthony, thanks for the email and the kind words. I appreciate it. And I will see you on Monday at 1 o'clock your time for the follow-up Skype call. Wayne, good seeing you. Hope you have a good weekend. Hope everything's going well in your life. Let's see. Toby, good seeing you. Thanks for coming back. I appreciate it. If you ever have any questions, Toby, you just let me know. Marco, same with you. It's good seeing you. Appreciate you coming each day. And if you have any questions ever, you just let me know, all right? I'm happy to answer anything. Steve Burns, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you putting me on the list today. Thanks for everything that you do. Glad you had a great day trading today. And Kurt, looking forward to our call on, let's see, Monday. I have it on my calendar. Oh, I better check. Yes, it's on Monday. So I'm looking forward to that. You did great in the last lesson. And I think I got everybody. I hope I did. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Wayne. All right. Thanks, Frank. I appreciate it. So, all right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go hiking in the mountains with my doggy. And thanks, Toby. still watching. 16, 12 thumbs up. Okay, well that's good. It's usually always a little bit less on Friday. But yeah, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button, I would appreciate it, guys. But again, if you have any questions over the weekend that you didn't think of today, you can email me. I'll do my best. And stay safe out there this weekend. Have fun. And most importantly, go out and do something nice for somebody today. Just help them out, hold the door, say hello, give them a wave. The world needs more of that. So, all right, take care, everybody, and hopefully I'll see you Monday during the last hour of the market. So, have a good one. Bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.